All the action stations are very much in Karnataka this morning, where regardless of all the political party workers and the people from across the country who've been campaigning in the state, it is going to have been a complicated series of emotions and sleepless nights for the past couple of days. It all comes to the final result of what the people of Karnataka think in their choice of leadership for the next 5 years. It is an important election, no doubt about it. All elections turn out to be important. We are now less than a year away from a general election. And now we get an opportunity to have a conversation with the stakeholders, the people of this country, as well as their political representatives, some of whose fates will be decided, at least at the state level, very much today. Joining us over the course of this broadcast, which we are going to be keeping uninterrupted as the counting begins, ladies and gentlemen, as you well know, it's going to kick off with some postal ballots, which are never in a large number. Let me just describe our screens to you. The numbers at the bottom of your screens will start ticking over once we get the first leads. By about 9:30, 10, hopefully, we'll have a better indication of what's going on. The early leads go up and down a lot. I'm going to put a caveat out, having done this in 2018. It's not over till it's over. So be careful as a lesson learned, because the early leads don't often predict everything that's going to happen at the end. Closer towards noon, hopefully we will know what happened. Is it going to be hung house? Is the BJP going to have the advantage and retain power, or is it going to be the Congress making an impressive comeback in Karnataka? Let's have a look at what the situation in 2018 was before we open this up to our guest joining us this morning. My colleague Aarti is standing by. Aarti, over to you.
Right, Rishabh, let me take our viewers through the numbers that were there in 2018. Now, the BJP had a seat share of 46.43%. The Congress had 35.71% of the seat share, while the JDS had just 16.52%. If we come to the number of the exact seats, the BJP had 104 seats, the Congress had 78, and the JDS had 37, while others had 3. Now, obviously, the BJP had quite a big lead there, followed by the Congress with 78 seats last time.
Okay, that gives us the baseline. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the magic number, quote unquote, the halfway mark, remember, is 112. It would take 112 to form a government. 113 is what you would want in the bag for sure if you take away one speaker's post, which will bring down the halfway mark by that one number. Now, who makes it? The BJP, remember, last year when we were doing counting, early in the morning had a lead. They were just north of the figure of the halfway mark. But when it all boiled down towards late in the evening, at about 5 p.m., they fell short by a handful of seats. Having recovered more than 44 seats from the election of the last time around in 2013 as things stood, with the Congress almost 44 down, the JDS held the mark. So the figure, number 3 figure, trust me, is important today. If the JDS manages to get more than 20 and it's close, well, then H.D. Kumaraswamy is holding a lot of cards. Which way does he go? He's been both ways in the past, supported both governments of the BJP as well as the Congress in the past. It's going to become important. Of course, if you're in the BJP or the Congress or supporting them or voting for them, you're hoping it doesn't come to that. But, well, Karnataka throws up always interesting election results. Now, joining us in the morning is our executive editor, my colleague Jaiprakash, who's been doing an exemplary job over the past several weeks doing coverage. We've gotten everybody that you can possibly think of to speak to get you a pulse of what's going on. JP, I know it's been a sleepless night for you. You've been up since 4 in the morning. But what about the politicians? How comfortable or uncomfortable have they been feeling this morning?
Well, Rishabh, Chief Minister Basuraj Bommai has gone to Shiggaon, his hometown. He took a flight yesterday after having a sit-on close-in meeting with B.S. Yediyurappa. There was a huddle in the BJP camp yesterday. B.S. Yediyurappa holding that meeting with R. Ashok himself, Leher Singh, then Murugesh Nirani, all the top stakeholders in the BJP at the state level. After that, he took a private jet to his hometown. He is monitoring the situation there in his home in Shiggaon. We are given to understand that after the numbers are out, after there is an indication, he will come to Bangalore later in the afternoon. D.K. Shiv Kumar is cooped up in his room. the man who thinks and believes that he's got a big role to play. He led the KPCC from the front. The Congress is upbeat. Exit polls have given a little edge to the Congress party. Well, Kumaraswamy, he was in Singapore for the last 2 days. Several theories there. One, on health grounds, he went for a valve replacement. Other, he went to strike deals with the power brokers. In case there is a fractured mandate, that is where he had back channel discussions happening. These are theories. He reached Bengaluru late last night at 1 a.m. and right now he is in his JP Nagar residence. Well, Devegowda did indulge in some grand homas and havanas and pujas yesterday. Remember, JDS is a very, very important player in this election. Given a fractured mandate, well, all leaders have to queue up outside his Padmanabh Nagar residence. It's a game of blackjack, Rishabh. That's best I can explain to you. There are 3 cards, 3 players here. If 2 get very close to 2010 or rather 21, then the JDS will not be an option anymore. They are fighting for survival. Will they be relevant in these elections? Well, by around 12 o'clock, we will know once we get the trends.
Okay.
But AICC President
Mallikarjun Kharge... Just on the thought of the JDS now, what is the situation there? Because HD Kumaraswamy decided that it's a good time for a foreign trip in the middle of the results. Either he's very relaxed about it or he's gone there for a reason to be incommunicado to at least one party or the other. Now, we've seen the father and son, father closer to the Congress, son closer to the BJP in the past. How is the internal dynamic within the family playing out right now?
Well, it's high-stakes battle for the JDS. Now, they have opened the channel of communication with both. But what is on the table when the situation arises where one of these 2 national parties will need their support? That is very, very important. Speculatively, they are talking about not entering the bastion of JDS, which is in the old Mysore region, Hassan, and about 50 to 60 constituencies. Then power sharing agreements. There are plenty to discuss, but then all that will come to play only if none of these 2 national parties will get majority. Kumaraswamy, he's played tango with both BJP and the Congress. In 2006, we saw how there was defection in his own party. He took about 41 MLAs, which led to collapse of JDS Congress government. He joined hands with BJP. He became the chief minister. Power sharing agreement of 2020 months. He didn't honor it. The sympathy vote for B.S. Yediyurappa. We saw the rise of BJP, the saffron party, under B.S. Yediyurappa in 2008. Mind you, they have never got a majority so far. In 2008, they got about 209 seats. In 2018, they got about 104 seats. This time around, even Prime Minister Narendra Modi had to make that slogan, that pitch. Ee Bariya Sarkara, Bahumatada Sarkara, means that please vote in absolute majority or a simple majority. Only then they can deliver what they have promised.
Couple of scenarios, JP, with you. Now, in the past, the political parties, both the Congress and the BJP, and we've seen this recreated by the BJP in Maharashtra, even though they've been the larger party, one of the 2 national parties, in a battle of negotiation, they've let the JDS form the government and they've sat in government without claiming the chief minister's post. Is that going to be on the table this time around, do you think?
Well, it depends on the numbers. If they are stuck around 75, 80, and if the JDS gets about more than 30, 35, the Kumaraswamy-led JDS would ask for a bigger pound of flesh. Now, H.D. Devegowda is totally against it. He's got a political equation with the Rainbow Coalition for the last 35 years. He's got very, very close relationship with the Congress party. Remember, in 2019, when he lost the parliamentary seat, he became Rajya Sabha MP with the help of Congress party. So he would always keep the Congress in good humor. But then he is a nanogenarian, 91 years old, and he is looking at a political sunset. A man who eats, breathes, sleeps politics.
Yes, we are seeing several of them. Yediyurappa is another one who is a compatriot in the state. retirement conversations happening in Maharashtra for Sharad Pawar. A generation change is certainly taking place. JP, just stay on with us. You are, of course, in the Mount Carmel College Counting Center behind you, where we are hearing announcements. So you can well imagine that the counting first of the postal ballots has already begun. The numbers, ladies and gentlemen, remind you right there at the bottom of your screens. Now, we did have exit polls, and we did the poll of polls. My colleague Aarti is standing by with those number and the data where things stand. That will help you set it up. All of this will become meaningless in a couple of hours, but helps us understand where this things. The numbers are on your screen. Aarti is going to break them up for you. Aarti.
Right, earlier we took our viewers through 2018 numbers. Let's take them through our exit polls, which gives an idea of what exactly they can expect from this time. Now, Matrice predicts that the BJP will get 79 to 94 seats. Now, they say that Congress would get 103 to 118, while the JDS will have 25 to 33, while others have 2 to 5. PMRQ says the BJP will get 85 to 100 seats, Congress 94 to 108, JDS 24 to 32, and others 2 to 6. Now, Jan Ki Baat predicts that BJP will get 94 to 117, while the Congress gets 91 to 106, and JDS 14 to 24, and others 0 to 2. Polstrat predicts that 88 to 98 seats for the BJP, 99 to 109 for the Congress, 21 to 26 for the JDS, 0 to 4 for others. CGS predicts that 114 for the BJP, 86 for Congress, 21 for JDS, and 3 for others. C Voter says 83 to 95 for the BJP, 100 to 113 for the Congress, 21 to 29 for JDS, and 2 to 6 for others. ETG says 85 for the BJP, 113 for Congress, 23 for JDS, and 3 for others. Now, CNX, the last one, says 80 to 90 for BJP, 110 to 120 for Congress, and 20 to 24 for JDS, while 1 to 3 seats for the others. The total here stands at 94 for the BJP, 103 for the Congress, 24 for the JDS, and 3 for others, giving us a hung house with Congress advantage.
Okay, that's where the exit polls left it. Now, there are exit polls. Some of them are calling for a clear win. Some of them are giving advantage BJP just over the mark. Some have sent advantage Congress just over the mark. In the end, some of them are giving a huge margin of seats, a range of 20-30, which doesn't help anybody figuring things out, because 30 seats is, well, 10-15% of the entire Vidhan Sauda. Okay, joining us this morning to have these conversations, I've already introduced Jayaprakash, my colleague. A.K. Mishra is with us in the studio, Daniel Francis and Manish Gupta also joining us. And I've just been told we also have senior Congress leader, several times KPCC President G. Parmeshwara joining us this morning. Mr. Parmeshwara, very good morning to you, and of course wishing you all the very best for what is an important day in which a lot of fates are going to be decided. We've been discussing the exit polls for the past couple of days, sir. What is your assessment as things stand?
See, exit polls, normally they are indicators. Sometimes they come close to reality, sometimes they're true, they're spot on, sometimes they're far away from the truth. So, you know, these are only, I consider them as indicators. But looking at the present exit polls, all of them, except 2 or 3, have indicated that Congress is leading. It's only the numbers. We always consider plus minus 5% or something like that. So if you look at that way, while you are analyzing the numbers,
yeah,
I think Congress will form the government on its own.
Okay.
Our internal party's assessment is we should be able to cross 130, numbers.
Okay. Well, you know, the current incumbent Chief Minister, Mr. Parmeshwara, is saying exactly the same thing. He says 140 for the BJP plus. If again, we'll know in a couple of hours, but if again you think you're done well and you're saying you're going to cross the 130 mark, which are the areas that you think will turn the numbers for you?
No, North Karnataka, I think we have done well, and even plains like Kolar, Chitradurga, Tumkur, Hassan, all these places we have done well. And even in Bangalore city, I think we should be able to maintain our numbers like last time. Coastal, it will be better than last time because coastal constituencies we lost very badly last time. I think this time it will be improved.
Okay, all right. But if it doesn't happen,
I think
I mean, you're of course hoping it happens, Mr. Parmeshwara, but there's a chance it doesn't. And in the past several times it hasn't happened, including the last election, the election before that. So it boils down to the X factor, and you know the X factor potentially is going to be Mr. Kumaraswamy or Mr. Devegowda, between the two of them deciding, will you do a deal with them, sir? And if so, what will you offer them?
I personally don't think that that situation will arise, because if I say 130 plus, then where is the question of the coalition? If I feel that, okay, I'm little bit doubtful about getting those numbers, then the question of coalition comes up, and then we will see that scenario.
Okay.
I don't think it will come this time.
Okay, let's talk about the major issues, sir. What do you think impacted it? Was it a polarized election? Will that reflect in the terms of the numbers that we are about to see? We saw the issue of Bajrang Dal and other issues.
I don't think except in urban areas, I don't think this Modi ji's impact is there in any rural constituencies. He has been talking about sensitive issues, which are either religious or some of the regional issues.
Yes.
But never he has said that he will improve Karnataka in 1, 2, 3 programs. He has never promised anything to Karnataka people. Why will they consider Modi ji so seriously? I don't think that he has made any impact.
Okay, but did you counter him? If you think that he is not a factor, and well, you better know well that Narendra Modi is a factor everywhere. How much of a percentage swing and where the Congress can win primarily on local issues is a conversation to be had, certainly, and we'll know in a couple of hours whether the local issues actually trumped the national face in this case. But when it came to the issue, Mr. Parmeshwara, as I was asking you, was there a polarization? Was there an attempted polarization with issues like the Bajrang Dal ban?
I don't think so. I don't think so. People also have understood. They have also understood that Bajrang Dal is an outfit, is an organization. There is no relationship with Bajrangi and Bajrang Dal as an institution. We all worship Maruti, Bajrangi. It's not, that doesn't mean that, only BJP, is there to protect Bajrangi, Hanuman. I don't think these kind of things work out. Few people may try and create these kind of things. See, what we have said in the manifesto is that, if somebody disturbs the peace and harmony,
okay,
like these two institutions, but, if you are sure of not disturbing the peace and harmony, why are you worried?
Okay.
Why are you worried? And the question of banning doesn't arise at all at that point of time. And one should see in between the lines. And they want to create some sensitivity and on this issue. I don't think it will work out. It has.
Okay.
It has not worked.
All right.
out.
Okay. All right. One quick question, sir. I know it's going to be a busy day, obviously, for you. You've been, for people watching the broadcast, Mr. Parmeshwar has been, I think, 7 or 8 times KPCC president in the past. So I have to ask you this. There was the question of the retirement of B.S. Yediyurappa. And then subsequently, the Congress hoping that with Lingayat leaders joining its side, that this would make a difference. Is this a calculation? Is identity politics? Is it still relevant, sir?
See, Lingayats, we never said that Lingayats don't vote for Congress. They have never voted for Congress. No, that is not true. They have always voted. Maybe percentage changes in each constituency. We give this time, we have given some 53 or 57 assembly seats to them. And last time also, we have given some 43 or 50. Large number, more than 50% have won last time too. So it's not that, Lingayats don't vote for Congress, they are not there for Congress. No, it is not true. Lingayats, Vokaligas, Congress is, it has everybody together. It's not that only these 1, 2, 3 communities there, what they are projecting.
Okay.
Everybody, we take everybody together. Whole society is with us.
Okay, Mr. G. Parmeshwar, if you win today, who's going to be the next Chief Minister of Karnataka, sir?
No, that will be decided. I repeatedly, even earlier also I have said that it will be decided by the High Command. And High Command takes so many factors into consideration. It could be social factor, it should be the capacity of an individual to administer, it could be the face, an acceptable face, so many factors, and also the opinion of the legislators.
Okay.
Putting all together, the High Command will take a decision, and then everybody will accept it. It's not that somebody will oppose. They may have a different opinion, but ultimately we'll all accept the High Command's decision.
Okay, so there might not be a name, but there is a short list for sure. And of course, who knows, sir, you might, as in the past, have supported Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy to be Chief Minister. But G. Parmeshwara, thanks very much. Regardless of how it goes, sir, wishing you all the best. At least we've seen an energetic poll campaign. And more importantly, we saw a peaceful election in Karnataka. No troubles. Despite all the very vacuous, sometimes poisonous politics, in terms of rhetoric at least, that took place over the past several weeks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in the end, today is results day, and that's all that matters. On the left of your screens, right next to my face, you are going to see the details of the people who are either winning or losing. Their fates are relevant at a personal capacity because their political futures have to be figured out one way or the other. But in the end, we have a parliamentary system. They win first past the post. The party which has the majority takes it. Let me quickly get an A.K. Mishra onto this. Mr. Mishra, what's your best bet? We've had 2 days to absorb the exit polls. We've had 2 days to see the pulse of the political parties, their emotion, their temperament. How do you think it's going?
All of us, thank you, Mr. Gulati, for inviting me and giving a time, especially for such an important date. This is one more important thing that, of course, I would like to put my best wishes to all the party, and whatever the survey, whatever the results it is going to be predicted, that may be right or wrong. This is the history. Even in past, some survey they were qualifying, they were good, and some of the survey failed. Result was were not at par whatever they claimed. What I think, especially for the Karnataka elections, this is the question of life and death for both of the parties, especially for BJP as well as the Congress. Especially for Congress, why? Few months back, Bharat Jodo Yatra was performed by Mr. Rahul Gandhi, and more than 27 days he spent only in Karnataka. So this is very important subject, especially for all the efforts put out by.
No, but does it matter, Mr. Mishra, or Rahul Gandhi? Because the argument generally goes is that as soon as it becomes Rahul versus Modi, you lose. So it's better to let Siddaramaiah and DKS figure this out, because then you have a chance, as you saw in Himachal, where Rahul Gandhi campaigned nothing. The same Bharat Jodo Yatra time, Himachal elections going on, he campaigned nothing. Priyanka Gandhi showed a couple of times, and they snuck in a victory there. So does the Rahul factor apply?
Mr. Gulati, you may be right, but especially for Karnataka, there is some such kind of the messing type of the competition is there. For example, if the same kind of
I'm sorry
the
to
argument,
interrupt you, sir. H.D. Kumaraswamy is responding for the first time this morning. Let's listen. I'm coming straight back to you.
Oh, from Coal Street. Let us see.
Sir,
also predicted that you will be crossing around 38 to 40, sir. Pardon?
ಸರ್ ಅಸ್ಥಿರತೆ ಉಂಟಾದರೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಬಲ ಯಾರಿಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್?
ನೋಡೋಣ, ಜನ ಅಸ್ಥಿರತೆ ಬಯಸ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ನಾಯಕರಿಗಾಗಲೇ ಸೂಟು ಬೂಟುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಾಗಲೇ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಒಂದೇ ಉಳಿದಿರೋದು ಬಾಕಿ ಅಲ್ವೇ? ಅವರಿಗಾಗಲೇ ಭಾಳ ಮೇಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೋಡೋಣ ಫಲಿತಾಂಶ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ನನಗೆ ಯಾವ ನಾಯಕರು ಸಂಪರ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಯಾರ ಜೊತೆನೂ ಸಂಪರ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಪಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು 2 ದಿನ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಚೆಕಪ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಚೆಕಪ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲು ಚುನಾವಣಾ ಫಲಿತಾಂಶ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಯ್ಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ. ಅದು ಬಂದ ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಏನಿದ್ರು ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Nobody contacted me up till now.
Sir, are you weighing your options? Are you weighing your options? Are you weighing your options to either?
No, actually, according to your exit poll, there is not necessary for any options.
No, sir.
According to your exit poll.
Some of the exit polls have stated 38. You will get 38.
Let us see. Another 2-3 hours we can wait. How much it will cost? There is no plan for me. There is no responsibility also for me according to your exit poll.
ಸರ್, ಒಂದು ಓಪನ್ ಆಫರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಒಂದು ಓಪನ್ ಆಫರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮೈತ್ರಿಗೆ?
ಯಾರಿಗೆ
ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ
ನಾಯಕರಿಗೆ? ಅವರು ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡೋರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಆಫರ್ ಏನು ಕೊಡಲಿ, ನನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು? ಅವ್ರು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಎರಡೂ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗಳು, ನನ್ನ ಆಫರ್ ಯಾತಿಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅವರಿಗೆ?
ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಅವರೇ ತಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ
ನೋಡೋಣ, ಇನ್ನು 2.5 ಗಂಟೆ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, 12 ಗಂಟೆವರೆಗೆ ನೋಡೋಣ.
Sir, in 2018 we have seen this happen. In 2008 we have seen
Let us see.
both the parties have come to your doors.
Let us see, brother. We hope for good thing. Let us see good development.
It is a fractured advantage. What will be your demands, sir?
There is no demand for me. How I am a small party. How can I demand?
You want to be the chief minister?
That is not there. Let us see.
You have a very cool sounding HD Kumaraswamy. He's been doing this a long period of time and he's been chief minister now several times. He knows how to play this game and to keep his cards close to his chest. He insists that he has spoken to no one. Of course, right after the elections, he disappeared out of town. Well, he's back now, but claiming that he's spoken to no one, that he has no demands. When asked the question, will you want to be next chief minister, he'll say, let us see. So clearly there is, let us see. The political parties, ladies and gentlemen, have the best assessment from their polling booth officers of how it's gone. But there is no such thing as a sure thing, okay? If it boils down to a few seats. Overall trend, the political parties know better than the exit poll guys. But sure thing is a difficult one to pick. So HD Kumaraswamy has a better idea of how this is going than all of us combined. But there's no sure thing. So we are 2-3 hours, we'll have to see. Mr. Mishra, sorry I interrupted you. Very interesting take. Do you really believe the politicians when they say, no, we have not spoken to each other, we are just waiting for the results? Does that really happen that way?
I do 100% agree here with you, Mr. Gulati. Actually, on ground level, whatever politician are available there, they are knowing that what kind of result it is going to be declared, what will be the result, and how they have to behave in future after looking after each and every kind of the possibilities. But one thing is very much clear, JDS, they are also knowing they made their best campaign, best aggressive campaign in last election. But they are also knowing that as they have already spoke, or you can say told all these things, that definitely we will be playing the role of kingmaker. And of course, in balancing way, they are going to play a very much fine kind of the role. If particularly no clear-cut majority is coming there, then of course
no,
JDS.
There is a scenario 2-3 also, that if there is a majority, but it's a very wafer-thin majority, just a couple of seats, then you also still need the JDS to make sure that at least they're providing outside support.
No. If from majority point, if gap is very thin, very low gap, very low number of seats, it is required, for example, 4, 5, 8 or 10. So whatever Nirdali candidate are there, independent candidate.
But again, that depends on how many independents. There are unlikely to be more than 3-4 independents in total. Okay, let me quickly get a thought in from Manish. Manish, good morning. Where do you think this is going, Manish? We've had 2 days to now observe these parties and how they are putting together their ducks in a row. Where do you think this is going?
Observing the election is going towards the Congress at present because this election, I mean, after a long time, this election, Congress was very much focused. It was focused on the social welfare, justice and corruption. Whereas BJP, the chief minister was on the back seat and Modi was on the front seat. So sometimes voters think that when whatever Congress is talking, something stands. And on the same side, two important leaders, Lakshman Savdi and this another one, Jagdish Shettar, they shifted to Congress. So this is I think the key change. So I think this is the
okay. You think it's advantage Congress before the first numbers pop up on our screens. Let me get Majid into the same conversation. Majid, how do you think this is going early this morning?
Gulati Saab, firstly, all the best to all the parties. May the best party win, because at the end of the day, it will be victory of people's verdict. See, the point today is that firstly, we'll have to look which way will this go. Will Modi magic work, or will Karnataka go the Himachal way? That is the bigger question. And today, what the exit polls reflect is essentially that Congress may get majority, but will it be a safe majority? That is the larger question. Because if Congress gets anything close to 113, it won't be a safe majority. If they get it somewhere close to 140, then we'll call it a safe majority, because other way, it will be like the JDS being the kingmaker, as rightly said by the other panelists. So the point here today will be what Congress gets, a safe majority or a symbolic majority, because in case of symbolic majority, we can see what I'll say that quote unquote Hirday Parivartan of some of the MLAs going the other way, as we have seen in other states.
No, maybe, no. If it's wafer thin, if it's 1 or 2 MLAs, maybe, but not. I don't think the BJP is going to be mucking around if there are 20, 30 MLAs involved. Not at this early stage, Majid. I think that is probably going to be a stretch of the imagination.
That is why I said, will they get a safe majority or not? Because otherwise there will be Hirday Parivartan of many of the MLAs.
Yeah, wafer thin. No, 1 or 2. No, not
even
20,
1 or 2.
15,
I believe
15, 20.
It should be more than it. That is why I said it should be around 140. 140 can be safe majority for Congress. Otherwise, you will have that kind of hard change and Hirday Parivartan in its MLAs, which is quite obvious to happen, because JDS will too have its stakes and BJP too will try its luck, and that is the way things will go. But the point here is, how does it matter for BJP? Because BJP gave its best in the last 10 days. Honorable Prime Minister made some 19 rallies and over a dozen road shows. And Honorable Hamid Shah ji was also there, JP Nadda ji was there. So how has the BJP star campaigning worked? And as with regard to Congress, Congress essentially backed on its local leadership. They banked on its campaigners, star campaigners as being the local leaders. It's local leaders of Congress versus the star campaigners of the BJP's national party.
No, but you just heard a different opinion. We were just discussing that, Rahul Gandhi spent 27 days that also, so the division of who gets the credit, just like who should get the blame, I think should be relatively shared. But we don't know how this goes. Last time around, we were sitting at about 10:30, 11, and we thought the BJP had a safe majority. And just 3-4 seats here and there turned out to become almost a farcical scenario, where we saw swearing in, then a non-swearing in, then another swearing in rapid succession. So I think a lot of the political parties are going to take it with a lot more care and wait till later in the afternoon before they are comfortable with what happens. But that depends on how the voter have picked. If the voters have said that we are going for one party very strongly, then that might not apply. Who knows at this point of time? And Mr. Mishra, in a contest which has been confusing, okay? The conversation up until a couple of days ago that the Congress had an advantage starting ahead. I would assume the advantage was that regardless of how smooth the BJP tried it, the retirement of a B.S. Yediyurappa was a major hole that was difficult to fill.
See, particularly retirement of Yediyurappa, especially in Indian politics, no one is going to get retirement. Several examples are there. Of course, BJP versus Congress were doing very well at initial stage, but Congress is also known for their self goal. They made different kind of the mistake, and naturally BJP started to gain the profit from all those mistakes. See, particularly at this time, whether it was BJP or Congress, a very much homogeneous type of the campaign was maintained. For example, in last election, there were the sectarian type of the, you can say the division was available, whether it was the question of Lingayat, or you can say the
any other question, southern type of the Kerala, southern yes. Vote bank of, you can say, the Mysore and all these region. At this time, both of the party maintained that a very much homogeneous type of the campaign, as well as the classification, as well as the, you can say, the whatever agenda or offering were there. For example, Congress also offered whatever they offered. So you think it's not identity politics per se? It was a homogeneous campaign. It got nothing to do with identity politics.
Yes, the symptoms are available. None of the party declared or discussed any kind of special thing for any special sector, especially only one
other than the Muslim quota. Which we know is going to get struck down by the Supreme Court, as it always has every time in the past. Okay, let me hop across to my colleague Aarti once again, just to understand, for reference of context, to the different regions of Karnataka and how the seats there stacked up in 2018. Aarti.
Right, let's take our viewers through now this region-wide seat share that was there in 2018. In central Karnataka, the BJP, of course, had 21 seats. Congress had 5. JDS had 0 seats in central Karnataka. This was, of course, in 2018. We can see how the BJP had 21 and a majority of them, JDS did not perform so well. The next one is coastal Karnataka. The BJP had 18 seats, Congress 3 and JDS 0. Again, sort of a similar trend there as well. We're seeing BJP with a majority. We're seeing Congress just a few seats there and JDS barely any. This is, of course, coastal Karnataka in 2018. This is they were in fact tracking how well the BJP and Congress did in these particular seats in 2018. Greater Bengaluru, BJP had 11, Congress had 15 and JDS 4. I beg your pardon. Now, you can see in this trend, the Congress did slightly better than the BJP as compared to the two previous regions that we had just seen. The Congress, of course, had 15 seats last time around and the JDS had 4. The BJP 11 and others 0. This is Greater Bengaluru that we're talking about this time. Now, of course, Hyderabad, Karnataka, which is also known as Kalyana Karnataka now, BJP has the 15 seats last time and Congress 21, JDS 4. JDS again, minimum performance in Kalyana Karnataka, and Congress getting 21 seats, again performing better than the BJP in this particular region in 2018. This region, of course, is Kalyana Karnataka. Next, we have Kittur Karnataka, which is also known as Mumbai Karnataka. The BJP had 30 seats, Congress 17 and the JDS 2, while others had 1 seat. Now, the BJP did better in this particular region than the Congress when it comes to 2018.
Okay, all right. Forgive me for the poor framing which my PCR crew is struggling with. We'll just get that sorted out in just a second. But that gives you an understanding of how the various regions of Karnataka stack up. We've been having a conversation here as we are waiting for the bottom numbers of our screens to start tacking up. It's 7:30. We don't know if it's a very close contest. This could go on for several hours, perhaps late into the afternoon, maybe even until the Election Commission actually notifies all the results. If it's one-sided, we'll have a better idea by about 10:30. And it'll be over by then, and we'll know how Karnataka voted. Now, that was the comparison you're seeing on your screens right now between 2013 and 2018, and you can clearly see how the blue shifted to the saffron in a very large chunky fashion of 44 seats that flipped last time around. The Congress is going to require at least that number flipping back their way to be in a comfortable position in Karnataka. They're going to need those 44 seats to flip back. Can they do it? It's an open question. We don't yet know. We've been having a conversation on the factors that might have changed the thing. As we speak right now, my colleagues are at the Mount Carmel College Counting Center. We also have Rushali, my colleague, who's at the Congress Party office. Ananya is at the BJP office. Madhu, my colleague, is standing by at the residence of DK Shiv Kumar. So we are across and across getting you the information as it's happening on the ground. Now, the candidates on the extreme left of your screens, their futures and fates also matter. Some of them long-standing, hoping to win their constituencies for the 4th or 5th time. Some of them fresh faces, some of them rebel faces who have shifted political parties just as we speak. And all of these factors are going to build up to that final tally at the bottom of your screens. Let me quickly take the opportunity of getting Majid back into this conversation. Majid, there was a time when B.S. Yediyurappa returned a government of the Bharatiya Janata Party for the first time in Karnataka. Then, I remember this is the time when Arun Jaitley was there at the center. B.S. Yediyurappa, he's involved in all sorts of corruption allegations and he's removed from the party. He formed his own party, and that doesn't spell well for the BJP. They bring him back in. Once again, the party's fortunes change. Now, they very systematically tried to give him retirement. Over the course of several months, first he resigned as chief minister. Then many months later, he said, okay, I'm going to resign from electoral politics. So as smooth a transition as they could have hoped for, but in the end, Yediyurappa does matter perhaps still for the BJP in Karnataka.
Well, yes, Rishabh Saab, this frankly works because for Yediyurappa Saab, he had local issues. He was a local icon. He has been a really big leader of Karnataka. But for him, knowing that what matters for Karnataka, he would bank more on the local issues. But BJP, as being a nationalist party with the idea of Ek Nishan, Ek Vidhan, Ek Pradhan, they always think of one, and that oneness doesn't work in a country like India where you have unity and diversity. And that is where the problem lies, that BJP's policy, as we see on the face of it, it didn't work properly for Karnataka. I mean, most of the work for Congress this time has been done by BJP's policies itself. They changed two chief ministers and brought an idea that Lingayats were sometimes brought in and then sometimes sidelined to bring the chief minister from the other community or the other sect, I would say. So that kind of confusion, and earlier as we say that Yediyurappa Saab would tell them that, see, we are a liberal society, we have our own issues, our own interests, and we'll work that way. But that didn't go in tandem with BJP's ideology. So that was why the new chief minister was brought in. It's an open secret for that matter. But then Congress, out of this, Congress, DK Shivakumar worked hard, and he has been saying in his interviews that he didn't sleep all these years. He was working day and night along with his cadres, and that is how Congress
but you mentioned
got active.
you mentioned DK Shivkumar, and that's not a straightforward thing for the Congress party as well. Manish Gupta, DK Shivkumar, for the better part, I think 6 months plus, perhaps even longer, was waiting for a nod from the Congress High Command on whether he would be made KPCC chairman or not. Many months he kept traveling to Delhi, kept petitioning, they were not sure. Now, for a lot of people who understand politics of Karnataka, DK Shivkumar was the person who was, in fact, in other states also. When you needed somebody to come in, get things done, it was DK Shivkumar. Siddaramaiah, remember, who's been the former chief minister of the Congress, was earlier in the JDS. He joined the Congress and became CM. But it's not like the Congress High Command was very clear about DKS either.
In fact, DK Shivkumar is a savior. You remember the times when the Congress MLAs were got the support in the hotel of DK Shivkumar, and he was standing before the BJP. Even there was an income tax rate, and still he was strong. Whereas, as usual, the leadership of Congress was never decisive. Though he is still fighting, and I hope at this time he will get some reward at least. Now, if I compare DK Shivkumar with other leaders, I have to see that if Congress gets the majority, or almost similar to near the majority, and if DK Shivkumar sees that there is some faction in the party, then there may be a case again when DK Shivkumar may be left behind. Because
we just spoke to G. Parmeshwara, and he said sometimes you need to have a consensus candidate and works that way. But if there is a strong showing for the Congress, even if they come close or reverse what happened in 2018, then Manish Gupta, does DKS get the credit for it, or do we give it to Rahul Gandhi?
Getting the credit is different thing. Taking
the credit is a different matter. But in real terms, will be this election that he is arrived, because last time the general elections did not go the way the Congress would have wanted in Karnataka for sure, and that was 4 years ago.
On the same side, this election, in the initial time, Congress was going very well, very focused, clear cut. But at the end, Congress given some contradictory statement on this tweet of Mrs. Sonia Gandhi about the sovereignty, and then this Muslim Arakshan, which is actually not possible. And here the BJP took the lead, and then the Kerala came. I think Bajrang in Kerala story also has some impact.
Okay.
And I think that also.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are just waiting for the first numbers, and we are being careful so that we are giving authentic numbers at the bottom of your screen. We're waiting for the first numbers to come our way. The counting process has certainly started, which is what I have 5 reporters there at 5 different counting centers. The counting process has certainly started. So as you well know, if you know how you've done this long enough, there are a very minuscule amount of postal ballots that are still physically counted. Everything else is in EVMs. But even in EVMs, there are rounds of counting. So it's not like from a particular booth, all the EVMs are counted together. They do a batch, release the figures, then they do another batch and they release the figures. So you're going to see the numbers change very, very rapidly. So we're still waiting for the first numbers for that particular reason. Salim Ahmed is joining us this morning to get a perspective in. Salim ji, good morning to you, and of course wishing you all the best. It is an important day, and I know it's going to have been a couple of difficult days just in tension figuring out what happens next. Now that everything is over, sir, and now you're just waiting for the people's result. Regardless of who forms the government, Salim ji, let me ask you a forward-looking question. Regardless of who wins, what is the agenda that Karnataka now needs to set?
We are going to come to power. It's for sure. The agenda we already have said, we'll give a clean, corruption-free, efficient people's government. We have been fighting against the BJP for the 40% commission and also price rise and no programs for the people. So we had already announced 5 guarantees. The first cabinet meeting when we will form the government, and the first cabinet meeting we will announce all the 5 issues we promised, like 200 unit free current, then 10 kilos of rice, 3,000 for the unemployed graduates, 2,000 rupees for head of the women in the family, and also free buses for the women. So this is our commitment to the people of Karnataka, and we are going to definitely stand by that. We are going to form the government on 13th with a big day for the Congress.
Those are the 5 promises, but then do these qualify as the welfare side of the scheme, sir? Now, you've also said that the price rise is a problem, infrastructure development is a problem, employment, of course, is always an issue. What about all these matters?
Definitely. From last 4 years, we are fighting against this government on price rise, on corruption, no employment for the youngsters. I'm asking you, Mr. Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the country, when he came to power, he said every year we are going to give 2 crores of jobs for the youngsters. What happened? 9 years, 18 crores jobs should have been given. How much the government gave? And also price rise. Petrol rate was 55 rupees. It has gone across 100 rupees. What happened to the black money Mr. Narendra Modi promised? He said when coming to power in 100 days, we'll bring black money and put 15 lakhs in every account. So these are the false promises given by the central government and the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. All these issues, definitely our government will come to power in Karnataka. We have been fighting against this corrupt government. We'll give a clean people's government in the Karnataka, definitely, because when last government, Mr. Siddaramaiah was Chief Minister, what 165 points we had given in the manifesto, we had completed that. This government, in 600 issues they had kept in their manifesto, last manifesto, they could not even complete 60. So totally, this government has totally failed. This double engine has derailed. The people of Karnataka are going to elect Congress government. And with more than 140 seats, we are going to
we'll know in a few hours. If it's close, we'll know in several hours. But either way, it's over today. What do you make of the numbers, sir? Because the BJP until last night, we heard the incumbent chief minister say, no, we are getting 140 plus. The exit polls have been all over the place. What would you want to hazard a guess this morning about how this ends up this afternoon?
40% commission, no development, price rise. These are major issues we have been telling the people of Karnataka. We said, why should again BJP, people should vote for BJP? For what cause? For 40% commission, for price rise, no houses were built for the poor people in Karnataka, farmers were not given adequate compensation, youngsters were not given, unemployed youths were not given jobs. So these are the issues we are fighting against the government. So this, like today, definitely the people of Karnataka have supported Congress party. They wanted a change. They wanted this government to go. The most corrupt government in the country, in BJP's government, was corruption in Karnataka. People were shamed by this because Karnataka is the IT hub. Earlier, Mr. Vajpayee ji had told anybody who was to come to Delhi was to come to first Bangalore and to go to Delhi. From last 4 years, this government has totally been in corruption. We are already fighting against this corrupt 40% government. The people of Karnataka definitely are supporting Congress party. They want to clean
Salim ji, now obviously the poll campaign is over, one way or the other. So what was yesterday may not apply tomorrow. We'll have to find that out. But before I let you go, Salim ji, there is a larger picture here, sir. And the larger picture is that, you have at the other side of a massive, some people say tsunami, some people say wave, some people say juggernaut, but Narendra Modi has been it's been a large force in Indian politics, state after state and nationally. And the Congress party has suffered in not pleasant circumstances in 2014, in 2019, in several states. I mean, look at the performance in UP, for example, multiple times around. What makes you think that after having suffered at the other side of Narendra Modi's wave or era, whatever it is, that he is not a factor, that he doesn't swing votes? Because many people would think he is the one person who does swing the votes.
See, Mr. Narendra Modi had campaigned extensively. I was asking, when floods came, people were distressed, Corona, Mr. Narendra Modi did not have a time to come to Karnataka. And last 15-20 days, he has been in like a district president of the Bharatiya Janata Party, like a state leader. He's been campaigning, had number of rallies in Bangalore. I think he spent 3 to 4 days. I think 3 days he spent having this road show yatra. All people were cursing because road yatra, everything was standstill. In say Prime Minister, we also had Prime Minister Congress Party. We had our meeting also, not like this. But there will be no change. Let Narendra Modi ji come. Let Mr. Amit Shah come. The people will not change. People want say good governance, clean administration, corrupt-free government, which Congress party is going to give.
Okay. Well, regardless, I always wish there were 500 seats and 700 seats and everybody could get hundreds. But that's not how Vidhan Sabha works. Regardless, let's hope there is a government and a stable government one way or the other this evening. Salim ji, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Let me quickly open this up to our guests who are still with us. Majid, let me quickly come back to you now. In a very real sense, we were discussing DK Shivkumar. What about the BJP local leadership? Now, Basavaraj Bommai had a few months. Many people would say that he was that consensus candidate whom Yediyurappa would have been happy with, that the BJP Central Command would have been happy with also, and the other political leaders would be happy with at the same point of time. But the BJP decided that they are going to do the generation shift because they have to think about 2024 as well. And 2024 might not have been 1 year too late for B.S. Yediyurappa to be out on the field campaigning. They took a decision on Jagdish Shettar also. So better to bite the bullet right now than to wait?
Well, Rishabh Saab, firstly, there was an irony with the BJP's policy on Karnataka. While we have on one side iconic Prime Minister known for his iconic slogan, na khaunga na khane dunga, and then we had Karnataka government coming up with that code name, that 40% ki sarkar. So that way there was an irony between what New Delhi has its reputation and how the Karnataka's BJP government was working, and it was from where it all started. And then this gave Congress the ground to work and start activating its cadres, and as DK Shivkumar did, because otherwise Siddaramaiah took the responsibility for the Congress fiasco in 2019. So all the things which happened because of BJP's wrong policies, as were not compatible with the local voters, that proved the breeding ground for Congress to survive and revive and come out with something which we are discussing at the moment.
Survive for sure. Revive, we'll find out in a couple of hours. But in a simple sense, Mr. Mishra, you're making a judgment call. You know that B.S. Yediyurappa is important for you in Karnataka, all right? But you've decided that, listen, we have another battle coming up in 2024. If we have to bite the bullet regarding a leadership change, we better do it now than to wait until the end. So they bit the bullet. Now, will there be a price to pay this time around for biting the bullet a bit early?
This is merely the subject matter, the capability for launching new phase or shifting any phase. BJP, they are having the great expertise, and they have all kind of strategy as well as the resources. In past, you see the example in so many states, they have launched new type of the leader, new faces, and successfully they made the campaign and made the history, especially for winning the elections and gaining the vote. This will not be a problem for BJP because of generating a dissatisfaction in the mind of Yediyurappa can be managed
but then
easily.
who's the face? Who do we say that was the face of the BJP at the local level this round? Was it Basavaraj Bommai? Who was it?
No, especially for influencing the voter and for vote swing, if you are asking this, which is the important question, then definitely the central leadership command, likewise Narendra Modi, Amit Shah ji, they are the face for, you can say, the shifting the vote from this side to that side, as well as on ground level, managing the things. For example, at voting day, how many voters are coming, whether they have casted their vote or not. For that, Yediyurappa and local team, they are more and more good in comparison of central command team. Same is the condition for Congress also. And a few moments back, Mr. Salim, the Congress spokesperson, told that whatever we were discussing, that what is the importance, why Rahul Gandhi spent 27 days in Karnataka. Of course, that was only and only for the political mileage. If they can put up a question that Modi ji has invested so much time, so many days in Bangalore and in Karnataka to make a campaign, of course, Mrs. Gandhi was there for same purpose, Mrs. Priyanka Indira Gandhi was for their same purpose.
No, I will. Amit Shah, Narendra Modi, they campaign aggressively everywhere. You ask anybody in the BJP, and they even take.
So that is the good point of BJP.
At the commission level, which is your municipal level polls, they take very seriously. So they take it seriously. Now that is something we know well for the past 9 years. They take their election seriously. The question is that do you need that face, and if you took the chance of changing the face, you could have waited another 6 months.
No,
and risk the 2024, but instead of doing the leadership change right now.
Especially in BJP, face will not be a problem, but in Congress, who will be faced? If the situation is going in favor of Congress, then who will be faced? There will be a very critical type of the fight and personal fight. DK Shivkumar versus other leader Siddaramaiah. We were discussing about DK Shivkumar.
Siddaramaiah says he's done with active politics or electoral politics. He's retiring. What does that mean? That means after 5 years.
No, I know very well about all these politicians. Just wait, results should come. And see, especially DK Shivkumar has been noted only for his support during the crisis, arranging hotel and all these things.
Okay.
But he is not the leader of mass perception in comparison of other leaders of the Congress.
Okay. Majid, you're shaking your head. I know I have to let you go. So quick last thoughts, 30 seconds.
See, my simple point for today is that about how Congress will survive, and one important point which is coming again and again is about Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi happened last year. It was just for the last 5 years, we haven't seen 5 months, we have not seen Rahul Gandhi coming to Karnataka and campaigning there. So it has essentially been the local leadership who was involved as compared to BJP, which brought in its star campaigners and even banked on the celebrities from the cinema world. So that way, Congress had a strong local leadership which worked for the elections, but BJP did not have local leadership or its faces, and BJP is even still confused on who could be their face for Karnataka. So at the moment,
Congress might still be confused as well. As I mentioned, the Congress was confused. You can ask DK Shivkumar, he's going to be joining us very shortly. I'll try to ask him this. For many months, the Congress leadership could not make him KPCC president. They sat on it for months and months. There was a crisis going on in Madhya Pradesh, then there was a crisis going on in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, all sorts of places, crises, and there was a decision paralysis. They made the call. In the end, will today evening we be examining the importance of local leadership? For sure. Did the BJP decide that they want to do the transition before this election and not before 2024? They absolutely did. Did they try to do it as smoothly as possible? Yes. Were there people who left and joined the other side? We don't know what their fates will be. They might win, they might swing some votes, but in the end, is it a relevant question that the Congress, does it do better when the local leadership takes charge with the campaign, the ideas, the planks, or when it becomes a face-off between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi? A lot of people would say in a Rahul-Narendra Modi face-off, Narendra Modi wins every single time.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.